guys, I am picking Dricus Du Plessis to win by KO. More specifically, TKO in the third round. I just think, well, let me actually break this down. I already said this in my predictions video, but I do want to go into more of an in-depth explanation as to why I think Dricus is going to knock out Israel Adesanya. And let me just start with this. Let me start with the layoff. I know Izzy fans are saying, bro, the layoff was much needed. Well deserved. I think Izzy's going to come back better than ever. He's going to be refreshed and he's going to look good. I don't think so, guys. I don't think Izzy is a guy who needs a layoff. He's not a Topuria, for example. Topuria actually benefits from having a year off, and he's in training and he's getting better. But I don't think so for Izzy, man. Izzy's not that guy. You know why? Because Izzy is a kickboxer, right? Izzy's a guy who's used to fighting every week and, during his kickboxing days, and then every couple months during his title run and his title era. So I don't think that this layoff is going to be as crucial or even make a difference. I think it might even harm him. Izzy's been trying to hype it up as if this is what I needed. This is what I needed. I needed this break. I needed a well-deserved break, and I got to train even harder, right? The only thing he was training harder is his gyno, right? He's been taking steroids. I think that's the only benefit that taking that time off had, but other than that, it's not going to help him because he's going to walk into that octagon, and I know a lot of people are saying Izzy's going to probably win the first round, because Dricus, he lost the first round against Sean Strickland, right? So I could see Izzy winning that first round, but I don't think so, actually. I think taking that time off is going to harm Izzy, and he's going to start off a little slower, right? Maybe during the first round. The second round, he'll probably be back into it by then, but the reason why I'm picking Dricus to knock him out in the third, and I'm not even going to consider this going to a decision, is because Dricus Du Plessis has power. We've seen it, right? We've seen it against Robert Whittaker. We saw against Strickland. Strickland respected his power, and that's why Strickland was backing up, bro. I'm a Strickland fan, and I hated seeing Strickland back up, and I've rewatched that fight a couple times now, and I feel like every time I watch it, I see it for Strickland, but then I see it another time for Dricus Du Plessis. So it's kind of one of those fights that literally is based on who you're watching and who you're kind of, even if you're going into it unbiased, you're always going to see it for the other guy, in my opinion. That's how I see that fight. So it is literally the definition of a 50-50 fight. So I'm going to consider that a win for Dricus, right? I'm going to consider Dricus undefeated, and I always like to pick the undefeated guy. But other than that, I just think that Izzy, if he's backing up from Sean Strickland, right? I know Izzy's a counter striker, but Izzy was not landing on Sean Strickland, and I know Sean Strickland has some of the best boxing defense in the UFC, right? But the fact that Dricus was able to land so much more and have so much more success against Strickland shows me that he is willing to march forward, and he might give Izzy respect because Izzy's going to have more power than Sean Strickland, but I just think that Izzy's not going to land that knockout shot that people might be picking him to win by. People are saying that, dude, Dricus is going to come barging in like a moron and he's going to get fucking knocked the fuck out, right? He's going to get knocked out goofy style, but he's not. Dricus has proven, to me at least, that he has a decent chin, a decent enough chin to where he can, come forward and apply pressure, especially like during the Whittaker fight. It just looked like he was kind of not giving as much respect. And also, Dricus can mix in the takedowns, but I don't think he's going to necessarily mix in the takedowns too much during this fight. If he does, I obviously would see it going to decision, but I'd still see Dricus winning this fight. But I personally just think that Dricus is going to land a big shot on Izzy. And you could say, what are you talking about? Why are you saying that? Bro, just look at Strickland, for example. Strickland versus Izzy. Strickland dominated Izzy, but other than that, we did see the big knockdown, and I believe that was round 1, right? That's kind of what set the tone for that fight, where we started getting hyped, and we knew that Strickland was going to win based on that knockdown. It got the arena hyped, and it got, this amazing moment, right? So why on earth are we saying that Strickland can knock down Izzy and Strickland can, do this, but Dricus won't be able to do that, right? You could say it's a lucky shot or something like that, but I could see Dricus landing the exact same shot or a similar shot, especially because his style is so crazy and wacky, and it's like stupid. Like, you're watching him and you think that, how is this idiot winning fights, right? But I think that Izzy's gonna see he's not gonna see something coming, at least a couple times during this fight. And if Sean Strickland is knocking you down, I mean, dude, Sean doesn't have as much power as Dricus Du Plessis, okay? I could easily see Dricus hitting him with something, and more specifically, during the third round, I think he's going to hit him with something. I think that's when Izzy's going to kind of, you know, be feeling more comfortable, because he's going to warm up. You know, at first he's going to be skittish during the fight. I think he's going to kind of feel more comfortable. Maybe he'll feel that power of Dricus, and he won't give us as much respect. And then Dricus will hit him with something that he does not see coming, right? That's what I'm thinking is going to probably happen. I don't see Izzy winning this, though. Not even by fluke. I don't think Izzy's going to win this. I think his era is over. You know, I understand he's a 50-50 guy where he typically wins one and loses one. And we always talk about contender Izzy. Dude, contender Izzy's a beast, bro. I got contender Izzy winning this one, bro. He's a different mentality, guys. He's not a crazy contender Izzy, bro. There's no difference between the two. Izzy is not motivated anymore. The contender Izzy that we're talking about is Izzy when he had motivation to get the belt and he wanted to actually be a champion. Izzy right now doesn't give a fuck, bro. He's set for life. He doesn't care about getting the belt anymore. It's not important to him. He's not fighting for anything. He's not really connected to this whole I'm the real African champion. He's not connected to that whole thing. He doesn't care enough to prove a point. At least in my opinion, maybe during this week, maybe during fight week, we see a completely different story where Izzy is, completely motivated. But from what I've been seeing, I don't think Izzy is that motivated. And I can't pick him because he's not contender Izzy. He's not the motivated Izzy that we might have seen back in the day. And also, if you guys are talking about, Izzy has the home field advantage because he's in Australia. With the Sean Strickland fight, we saw that that's not true at all. I mean, I don't think fans are that crazy for Israel Adesanya in Australia. I mean, fair enough, he might have like half the crowd or maybe a little more than that. But I think that during the fight, we're going to see equal amounts of hype and cheer. And I think that Izzy might get, affected by that, honestly. That's like the least of my concerns and the least of my reasons for picking Dricus. I'm not picking Dricus because of the crowd, but I do think it's going to be a little bit of a factor, kind of like in the Sean Strickland fight. Maybe during the press conference, Izzy gets booed and he realizes, he's not that guy anymore, because he's not the guy who's some crazy contender Izzy, who's out here knocking out people and who's doing the question mark kick and all that stuff. He's a pitter patter guy, a pitter patter decision guy. And, fair enough, he had that knockout against Pereira, right, which he kind of glorifies and everything, and he still posts it to this day. But I just don't I think the fans they're kind of over his gig, whatever he's doing. And so I actually think that there'll be a lot of Dricus supporters there, which could affect Izzy's mentality as well. But other than that, I also think that, the reason I'm picking a TKO and not necessarily a knockout is because I do got to give Izzy his respect, man. I don't think he's going to get fully knocked out because I can't see him going unconscious. Even if Pereira's hitting you with, several shots, unanswered shots, I don't think that Dricus is necessarily going to knock you out. But it would be insanely surprising if he gets fully put out fully put out cold. But I think what's going to happen is it's going to be more of a knockdown into maybe he'll get some ground and pound. I think it's going to be like a knockdown into some ground and pound, and it would be crazy to see a submission if Dricus tries to grapple. But I think Izzy's defensive grappling is pretty good, so I don't think that it's going to be too much of a grappling match. I think it's mainly going to be on the feet, but we'll see, man. I'm still picking Dricus by knockout. That's my final pick by TKO. And so we'll see how this ages. Dricus, hopefully he fights, I don't know, the winner of Hamzat and Whitaker, probably. That's probably who deserves it. But yeah, I'm picking Dricus, and that's enough yapping about this. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a like, leave a comment who you're picking in the description. Tell me if I'm stupid for picking Dricus. And subscribe for daily MMA stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.